6 rare traits that make you more valuable than gold after 65. Life-changing wisdom from a doctor. Let's begin with the first trait, emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is the ability to adapt to stressful situations or crises. It's the mental reservoir of strength that people are able to call on in times of need to carry them through without falling apart. For those over 65, this trait often becomes more pronounced, honed by decades of life experiences. Research has shown that emotional resilience can significantly impact overall health and longevity. Consider this. Individuals with higher psychological resilience are better at coping with life's difficulties and stress, leading to better physical health and a lower chance of dying young. But what does emotional resilience look like in everyday life? Imagine facing the loss of a loved one, a significant health diagnosis, or the challenges of aging. An emotionally resilient person acknowledges the pain, seeks support, and finds ways to adapt and move forward. They don't deny the hardship but choose to face it with courage and determination. This resilience doesn't mean the absence of distress or difficulty. Instead, it's about the capacity to recover and maintain a sense of purpose. Engaging in social and physical activities can boost cognitive function and emotional health, further enhancing resilience. Moreover, emotional resilience is closely tied to mental health. Seniors with higher levels of resilience are better able to cope with anxiety, depression, and stress, which helps prevent the onset of mental health issues and ensures a higher quality of life. In essence, emotional resilience is a testament to the human spirit's capacity to endure, adapt, and thrive, even in the face of adversity. It's a trait that not only enriches one's own life but also serves as an inspiration to others. The second rare trait that makes you more valuable than gold after 65 is the depth of wisdom. Wisdom is not simply a collection of facts or experiences. It's the deep understanding that grows from decades of choices, mistakes, relationships, successes, and setbacks. It's the ability to discern what truly matters, to offer guidance with grace, and to make peace with the imperfections of life. Neuroscience has shown that, contrary to the common belief that cognition steadily declines with age, certain types of intelligence, particularly those associated with emotional understanding, conflict resolution, and life judgment, actually improve as we age. Wisdom involves the integration of perspective, seeing the bigger picture and not reacting impulsively. Empathy, understanding others' emotions and pain without judgment. Reflection, learning from the past without being imprisoned by it. Moral reasoning, making decisions guided by compassion, not just convenience. Imagine a grandmother who has raised children, lost a spouse, and weathered economic hardships. She's not just sharing stories when she talks, she's sharing lived insight. This is the kind of wisdom that organizations, communities, and younger generations are hungry for, but often overlook. Wisdom also builds interpersonal harmony. A study published in Psychology and Aging found that older adults are better at resolving interpersonal conflicts and giving sound advice because they can step outside of themselves and weigh different viewpoints. When you possess wisdom, you become a lighthouse in a storm, steady, quiet, and capable of helping others navigate through chaos. That kind of value can't be bought, manufactured, or replaced. It's earned through time, humility, and reflection. And here's the beauty. Wisdom doesn't shout. It listens. It doesn't judge. It embraces. In a noisy, fast-moving world, wisdom is the voice of calm, clarity, and care. That's why, after 65, your wisdom is not a relic. It's a resource. You may retire from a job, but never from your purpose. Your insight can heal wounds, prevent mistakes, and strengthen communities. The third rare trait that makes you more valuable than gold after the age of 65 is unshakable integrity. Integrity is one of those qualities that's often underestimated until it's missing. It's doing what's right even when no one is watching. It's the refusal to betray your values for convenience or approval. And after a lifetime of experiences, challenges, and lessons, many older adults have cultivated a kind of moral strength that cannot be shaken. You see, integrity isn't something you inherit. It's something you build. And by the time you've reached your 60s or 70s, you've likely had to make hard decisions, stand firm when it was unpopular, and admit mistakes when it was difficult. Each of those moments forged a deeper level of honesty and responsibility within you. Research in moral psychology suggests that people over 65 tend to have a more principled approach to life. Their values are rooted not in fleeting trends, but in hard-earned truth. They're less swayed by peer pressure, advertising, or public opinion, and more grounded in a stable internal compass. In healthcare, we often see patients who inspire us with their unwavering character. I've had patients who, even in the face of terminal diagnoses, insisted on protecting others, offering kind words, and living with dignity. That kind of inner integrity can't be faked, and it's priceless. Let me be clear. In today's world, where trust is rare and manipulation is common, a person with deep integrity is a sanctuary. People gravitate toward you because they know where you stand. They know that your word means something. You don't say what people want to hear. You say what they need to hear, lovingly and without agenda. And here's the secret many young people don't know. Integrity is attractive. It draws others to you. It builds bridges. It leaves legacies. When you're over 65, your reputation isn't just a label. It's a lifetime of choices. And when that reputation is rooted in integrity, it becomes a legacy that echoes through generations. So if you're at a stage in life where you feel unseen or undervalued, I want you to remember this. Your integrity is your crown. It's your gift to the world. It's a moral clarity that can guide others in a confused age. You're not past your prime. You're the prime example of what the world needs more of. The fourth rare trait that makes you more valuable than gold after 65 is something I deeply admire in many of my older patients and friends: emotional resilience. Let me explain what I mean by this. Emotional resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to change, and keep moving forward even when life throws unexpected storms your way. By the time you reach your late 60s, 70s, and beyond, you've likely experienced profound losses: loved ones, careers, physical abilities. You've likely walked through grief, heartbreak, financial uncertainty, or health scares, but you're still standing. And not only that, you're wiser, deeper, and often more peaceful because of what you've been through. That's not just admirable. It's powerful. From a medical perspective, emotional resilience has a real, measurable effect on health. Studies in geriatrics and psychology show that individuals with high emotional resilience suffer less from anxiety, depression, and chronic stress-related illness. Their immune systems are stronger, their blood pressure is more stable, and even their cognitive function is better preserved. But beyond the science, let me speak to what I've seen in real life. I've sat with men and women in their 80s who have lost spouses they were married to for 50 years, yet they still greet others with warmth and dignity. I've seen grandparents step up to raise grandchildren when tragedy struck their family. I've witnessed older adults forgive people who deeply hurt them, not because it was easy, but because they chose peace over bitterness. That kind of strength? It's not loud. It doesn't demand attention, but it's more valuable than gold. And here's the beautiful part. Your emotional resilience doesn't just bless you. It strengthens everyone around you. You become a source of calm when others are panicking. You offer perspective when the world feels upside down. You don't just survive. You teach others how to navigate life with grace and grit. If you're over 65 and sometimes feel like your days of contribution are behind you, let me lovingly challenge that thought. Your ability to endure hardship with compassion, to speak hope when others despair, to hold space for others without judgment. That is a ministry, a gift, a rare treasure in today's anxious world. Don't underestimate the power of simply being someone who doesn't give up. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They're signs that you've healed. And your presence, steady and enduring, may be exactly what someone else needs to keep going. The fifth rare trait that makes you more valuable than gold after 65 is wisdom rooted in experience. Now, wisdom is a word that gets thrown around often, but let's be clear. True wisdom is not just knowing a lot of facts. It's about having lived through enough seasons of life to see beyond the surface. It's about understanding what really matters. Let me give you an example. A 30-year-old might panic when their career takes an unexpected turn, but someone who's 70 has likely seen careers rise, fall, and change many times. You've seen that failure can be a setup for something better. You've learned that what seems urgent today often isn't important tomorrow. You've experienced that people matter more than possessions, and that peace matters more than winning every argument. That kind of insight cannot be found in a textbook. It comes from life, from success, from heartbreak, from decades of decision-making, and from witnessing how everything eventually connects together. In my medical career, I've often sought the counsel of older patients, not just about their symptoms, but about their perspectives. I've heard a woman in her late 80s say, "The worst day of my life turned out to be the beginning of a better one." I've listened to men who once chased wealth tell me, with tears in their eyes, that the real riches were time with their grandchildren. Your wisdom has weight. It can anchor a family, a community, even a nation. You are the generation that has seen wars and peace, technologies rise, the evolution of family life, and cultural shifts. You've witnessed the best and the worst of humanity. And through all of that, you've developed a deep reservoir of discernment that others desperately need. But here's the tragedy. Society too often fails to honor this. Instead of being sought after, many older adults feel dismissed or invisible. But let me say this clearly. The world needs your voice. Younger generations are overwhelmed with information but starving for wisdom. They're flooded with opinions but lacking in real-life guidance. Your life experience is like a lighthouse in a storm. Your words, your presence, your calm reflection, those are gifts the world cannot Google. So don't silence your story. Don't minimize your value. Whether you're teaching a younger colleague, mentoring a grandchild, or simply sharing a lesson over coffee, you are spreading a legacy of wisdom that can shape lives for the better. Remember, in a world chasing the next trend, the person who understands the timeless truths of life is a treasure without price. The sixth and final rare trait that makes you more valuable than gold after 65 is something truly profound, the gift of legacy and purpose. When we are young, purpose is often defined by achievement, degrees, careers, salaries, milestones. But after 65, something powerful happens. Life shifts from being about personal accomplishment to something far greater, leaving a legacy. Legacy isn't about wealth. It's about impact. It's the love you poured into your children and grandchildren. It's the honesty you modeled in your relationships. It's the values you stood for when no one was watching. It's the way you chose to forgive instead of staying bitter. It's the faith you held when life fell apart, and how you rebuilt, slowly, with grace. You see, the world often forgets that the most influential people are not those on magazine covers or trending online. The real heroes are people like you, quietly shaping lives through your presence, your stories, your steady encouragement, your humble wisdom. I've sat with men and women in their 70s, 80s, even 90s who have asked me, do I still have a purpose? My answer is always the same. Yes, 1,000 times, yes. In fact, your purpose grows with age. Why? Because now you carry not just energy, but perspective, not just motion, but meaning. And here's the truth. Legacy is not what you leave for people. It's what you leave in them. It's in the grandson who learned kindness from how you treated the waitress. It's in the neighbor who still remembers your smile during their darkest days. It's in the community that learned generosity from your quiet giving. It's in the church that stood strong because you stayed faithful. And let's talk about purpose on a deeper level. If you're still breathing, that means God isn't finished with you yet. Your story is still unfolding. Maybe this next chapter is the one where you'll mentor a lost soul, reconcile a long-lost relationship, start a small group, or write that memoir that could change a life. You may not know the full impact until heaven, but I promise you, it's real. Let me speak directly to your heart. You are not done. You are not too old. You are not past your prime. You are perfectly placed right now to be a vessel of encouragement, wisdom, and grace. And when you live with that kind of purpose, each day becomes rich. Your eyes open not to boredom, but to opportunity. You stop counting your years and start investing them. Legacy and purpose. These are the final traits that make you more valuable than gold. Not everyone sees them, but the ones who do are forever changed by your presence. So walk with confidence. You are a living legacy. You carry purpose in every conversation, every prayer, every act of kindness. And that, dear friend, is a gift that no amount of money can buy. As we come to the end of this heartfelt journey, I want you to pause for a moment and breathe. Let everything we've discussed sink in. Your emotional intelligence, hard-earned and seasoned by decades of life. Your unshakable resilience, carved through trials and triumphs. The depth of your empathy, unmatched by any artificial intelligence or algorithm. Your spiritual strength, which carries peace in chaos and light in the dark. Your quiet wisdom, rich with stories, truth, and perspective. And your living legacy, a gift to this world that will outlive you. These are not just rare traits. These are sacred gifts, and they are all yours. You see, society may tell us that after 65, we begin to fade, that our value diminishes, that we should step aside quietly. But I want to challenge that message with every fiber of my being. Because you are not fading, you are flourishing. Every wrinkle tells a story. Every scar has been earned. Every gray hair is a thread of divine wisdom. You are not less. You are more. More focused, more patient, more compassionate, more rooted in truth. Let me be clear. You are not a burden. You are a blessing. And I pray you leave this video not only informed, but inspired, not only seen, but celebrated. So today, walk a little taller, speak a little bolder, and love a little deeper. Because you, my friend, are more valuable than gold. Let this not be the end of a video, but the start of a revival in how you see yourself, how you live your days, and how you bless the people around you. The world needs your voice. Your family needs your love. And your future, yes, your future, is still overflowing with purpose. Thank you for being here. Thank you for living. And thank you for being the extraordinary person God created you to be. Stay strong. stay kind, stay radiant. And remember, the best is not behind you. It is still to come. God bless you.